Red Bun means for a live, a casual take with your boy Stephen Pepper, here to give a take off my chest. So the Lakers lost last night 127 to 100 in Phoenix. That is their third loss in a row. Just a disastrous stretch for them. And my takeaway from last night was this is the worst defensive team in the league. They are so bad that even with Anthony Davis in the paint, arguably the best defensive player on the planet, they're 27th in defensive rating at 18.2, just zero point 0.4 away from being the worst. 24th in opponent points per game at 117.5, 29th in opponent field goals made at 44. Mind you, there are only 30 teams in the league. 29th in opponent field goal percentage at 48.7, just zero point 0.2 away from being the worst, and 28th in opponent assists per game at 28.9. It drives me nuts that a team with two of the 10 best players in the league, and LeBron and Anthony Davis, can have first round exit written all over them. And it's because the team doesn't have personnel to get stops when they need to. They aren't nearly athletic enough on the perimeter to compete. And it's because this team doesn't have a competent rim protector alongside Anthony Davis. So what happens is what you saw last night is a death sense of a predicament where if they go a stretch where they're not hitting shots, they're cooked. They're so bad on defense that the game can get away with them at a snap of a finger. And it also happened on Saturday night against the Nuggets. Coincidentally, both were in the third quarter. But when this team is just out of offensive rhythm, they're going clank, 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 turnover, turnover, turnover. They're so bad on defense that the game gets away from them in the blink of an eye. Listen to these numbers in the third quarter by the Denver Nuggets. The Lakers got outscored 37-15 and just shot 25% from the field in that quarter. Now, I didn't take that much away from that stretch because I was like, it's just the Denver Nuggets. They always do that to us in the third quarter. It just feels like they have this mental grip on us psychologically. But the same thing happened, identical numbers against the Suns. Got outscored 36-18, shooting 29% from the field. Again, if the Lakers aren't hitting their shots, they can go a stretch where the game just gets away from them fast. And that's why, to me, Rob Pelinka needs to wake up. Like, wake the hell up, Rob. You need to be calling every single team in the league for a quality defender because this team doesn't have one. Wait, they actually do. His name is Jared Vanderbilt. But I actually don't think Jared Vanderbilt's played since, last in-season tournament. It feels like the last time I saw him, I genuinely thought Vanderbilt disappeared because I haven't seen him play. But until the broadcast showed him on the bench the other night in straight clothes. Does Jared Vanderbilt think that the Lakers are some fashion team, not a basketball team? Because why is he not guarding Devin Booker and it's Austin Reeves? Austin Reeves on Devin Booker is not a championship-winning matchup. It should be Jared Vanderbilt's athleticism instead of Austin Reeves. That game was a 4-point game with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Guess where you think that score ended by the end of the third period? It ended at 20. Because how did that start? Austin Reeves was guarding Devin Booker, and Devin Booker came down possession after possession after possession and took turns on Austin Reeves. Because they're not athletically gifted enough on the perimeter. And that was just such a brutal loss to go into Phoenix. I swear against Denver, they did the same thing. They were up at halftime by 10 against Denver. Third quarter, they get rolled. And I think they were just down 4 to Phoenix. And this Phoenix game was especially big because it was an in-season tournament game. And they were only down 4, and they lost the game by 27. And now their point differential is negative 16. So the reigning champion Lakers in the NBA Cup are probably not going to be able to make the bracket because, yes, they're 2-1 in the in-season tournament so far in the qualifying games. The negative 16-point differential just pretty much puts it out of them. You know how you get a negative 16-point differential? If you can't play defense. And right now, the Lakers, with somehow, some way, with Anthony Davis, who I think on a given night is the best rim protector on the planet, the best defensive player on the planet, they're the worst defensive team in basketball. And it drives me nuts how this is going to hold this team back because they have 2 top 10 players. And when they do hit their shots, this is actually one of the better offensive teams in the league. But when they're not hitting their shots, they're cooked. It's like an avalanche that buries them, and it buries them fast. Because as we saw in Denver, as we saw in Phoenix, when they can't hit their shots, they can't guard anybody to save their lives. They're putting Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, Dalton Knecht, Gabe Vincent on these Jamal Murray, Devin Bookers of the world, Bradley Beals, and they're just coming down and getting wide open shots at the rim. and the Lakers are getting cooked by it. And that's why they're on this 3-game losing streak, because their offense isn't saving them. This is the worst defensive team in the league. Listen to their metrics. They're almost dead last in every single defensive metric. And if you're Rob Pelinka, I do not know how you watch these last 2 games and not get on the phone and try to make some moves for a defender like a Dorian Finney-Smith or somebody. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in this episode of A Casual Take. Excuse me for the rant. I won't be on tomorrow because it's Thanksgiving, but I'll be back Friday to talk about at least one of the football games. But until then, see you.